read 8 books in February, 6 of them made me cry. Let's start with the 2 that didn't. This is a smutty 18th century historical river pirate romance. It does exactly what a book that is described that way is supposed to do. Of Shadows of Self. This is probably my least favorite book I've read in the Cosmere so far. It was just super predictable, and I don't particularly care for Wax. I think he's boring and emotionally constipated, and if he can't solve his problems with his gun, then he doesn't know what to do with himself. The series would be much better if Wayne was the principal. I am shipping Steris and Wayne, though. Then we have books 6 and 7 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Yes, both of these silly D&D campaign, leftist propaganda, dude with the talking cat books made me bawl like a fucking baby. And for book club, we have The Things We Cannot Say, which is a World War II historical fiction with a historical timeline set in Poland and a contemporary timeline that ties into it. There's a lot of mommy relatability in here that made me cry. The historical timeline had some plot holes I have questions about, but overall, I liked it. Moving into our nonfiction selections for the month, Africa is Not a Country was excellent. This is narrative history of the continent of Africa and the struggle that it faced because a small group of external colonial powers that just wanted to pillage the continent for its natural resources essentially drew arbitrary lines on a map to claim territory and then forced several ethnic groups with varying cultures, histories, languages, religious identities into nations that they then had to figure out how to manage as one people in the post-colonial period. And that transition has been difficult since the mid-20th century. Also got a lot of editorial commentary about the unfair caricature of Africa that's portrayed to the West in the form of either magical safari land or universally impoverished continent, neither of which is an accurate depiction of an extraordinarily diverse continent. And I read a 19th century memoir by Mary Seacole called The Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole. She was a nurse born in Jamaica. She worked in Central America. She traveled to Europe. She volunteered for the Crimean War, but the British didn't want her help. And so she just went to the front on her own, set up a hotel, and was helping them right there on the scene. This is available in the public domain. I highly recommend it. It's super readable for something written in the 19th century. Last but not least, I have Bearing the Unbearable by Dr. Joanne Cacciatore. Sad fact about me, I am a bereft mother, and the society I live in doesn't like bereft mothers, and the fact that we scare people. Other parents don't want to hear from bereft parents because we remind them that they could easily be bereft parents too, and that's terrifying. So we read books to feel heard and seen and validated in our grief, and this is a really good one, not only for relatability, but for tools for generating micro rituals and journaling and kind of proactive stuff if you need any assistance in your grief management. That was February. Hoping to cry less in March.